How's it going, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer, coming at you with another video. Something I wanted to talk about today, but really, to be honest with you, this video is just giving me an excuse to try out my new camcorder that I picked up. Yes, I picked up another one. I don't want to get into it too much here on the video, but I picked up another Sony camcorder, and this is the DCR SX22 model, which came out a year after one of the other cameras I have. Again, I don't want to get into it too much here, but this one here, very similar camera, but it's more, I guess you would say, when it had come out at the time, consumer friendly as far as budget pricing is concerned. And this video camera actually shoots at, I think it's 640 by 360. It's like 480p. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out after I shoot the video, but I wanted to have some fun with it. And again, just a hobby channel. You don't need to see my face in 4K to hear what's coming out of my mouth, right? I also wanted to mention here, over the last year, I haven't talked about it on the channel, but I have been testing out two mics. I've been using two mics on the channel on and off. So the first one it's a blue mic right here. I don't even remember the name of this model. I can't remember. I'm sure you guys know. I think Richard Ledbetter from Digital Foundry uses this mic as well. Now, I'm having an issue with it, and I was warned that this would happen, whereas the USB cable is now starting to fall out from underneath here. I shouldn't say fall out, but basically you have to keep this thing still. If you move it around at all, it disrupts it, and then as I'm recording, I'll look over, and all of a sudden I notice that the sound recorder has stopped recording on my computer. So very frustrating. I think part of the issue with that is not most, but a lot of YouTubers, especially those that do podcasts, they'll buy this mic as an example, and they'll take it off this stand, kind of like Richard Ledbetter. And the idea is you'd have it upside down, right? And then you'd have the USB cable come up over top down, so it's less likely to have any issues with being, disrupted out of its slot on the bottom there. Can't even fucking speak. So yeah, I've been having some issues with that. I've been using another mic that I have in the games room called the Phillip, and that was graciously gifted to me by one of my subscribers, Megadan29, last year, and I've been testing it out. And I don't want to talk about it too much right now. I'll post a separate video talking about it, but yeah, the Phillip is the better mic out of the two for several reasons, and again, we'll get into it in another video. So before we go any further, beer of the day, you know me, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Can't fucking speak. Let's crack this open here. Now, funny story, when I went into Ottawa to pick up this camcorder on the classifieds, I got a good deal on it. It was she was asking $75, brand new. Tag was still on it. Didn't ask her if it was hot. She was asking $75. I offered her $60. She took it, and it came with a 64 gigabyte memory card. So right there in itself was worth picking it up. It came with the charger, which is compatible with my other camera. And it came with another battery as well, obviously. And then obviously the camera as well. So it was a really good deal. I'm really happy with it. And so I picked up the camera, and then I wasn't too far from the local Value Village, the thrift store. I hadn't been in there in a long time. So I did go in there. I did take a look around. I didn't see much. There was like a Watch Dogs print, if you will, which looked pretty cool. I'm not into Watch Dogs, but if you are, that would have been an awesome pickup for sure. I was able to pick up a book here, full-colored book, The Last Big Cats. So I know some of you guys are going to laugh. Again, this isn't gaming related, but one of my passions that I haven't really talked about, I don't think I've ever really talked about on the channel, is I'm just a huge fan of cats. Obviously, I have a cat, a domestic cat, but I'm talking like the wild cats, the big cats out in the world. Love watching videos on them. Love reading about them. Reading anything I can. So yeah, very happy to have this. It talks about some of the major cats in this world, and here is the what some of you might call the puma. In Canada, we would call that a cougar or a mountain lion. And what's interesting enough, a little bit north of North Bay, which is not too far from where I am. It's far enough. Maybe I don't know, 10, 11 hour drive, maybe longer. There's been cougar sightings in one of the national parks. There have been talks of a cougar in the area since 1983, but nobody had ever had proof of it. So they are pretty elusive. And finally, one of the cameras, it was last year or the year before, I think it was last year, caught a cougar walking through. And there was another area up north in Ontario where a couple of passerbys spotted a dead cougar on the side of the road. Had snow all over its face, as you can see here, and it had porcupine needles lodged into it as well. So, unfortunate that it did pass away. There was some research done on the carcass, and it was determined that there was no food in its belly, so it most likely died of starvation. So that's all I know about that. Who knows? If it's outside of its normal area that it's used to for hunting, maybe it had a hard time locating food. Maybe it tried to approach a porcupine, and that's obviously how it got lit up with needles. So yeah, really interesting stuff. I don't want to bore you guys to death with that. Lots of content on YouTube as well that you can watch on that. I subscribe to a channel called Claws, and they post videos like top 10, top 20, top 30, like dangerous encounters with wild animals, or top 30 dangerous encounters with, wild cats. And it's really cool. The narrator sounds like Buddy there from Unsolved Mysteries, and they've got the weird, creepy music in the background. So again, here I go off on a tangent. So the meat and potatoes are already almost 8 minutes into this video. Well, the meat and potatoes of today's video, I wanted to talk about the state of gaming with the current gen consoles. Let me take a sip of my beer here. You think I could hold this like a civilized human being with the handle, eh? Tastes like nectar. Beer of the gods! So yeah, the state of gaming in 2023. So I know we've talked about it, but it has to be said again. With the exception of like a few titles, at least for me personally, here I am. I bought the Series X. I finally took it out of the box after having it sit up here for 2 months. It's out of the box. It's hooked up. And I have nothing to show for it. All that I have to show for it is a next-gen patch for Cyberpunk 2077. It was hardly next-gen. There's nothing that excites me. There's nothing that is out right now that excites me. Even the games that are coming out this year, you can say Microsoft has a strong year coming up. You can talk about Sony's exclusives. There's really nothing out there that's blowing me away. The only 2 titles that I'm remotely interested in would be Starfield, obviously, and Alan Wake 2. As far as the Outer Worlds 2 is concerned, we've heard nothing about that. I don't know why it's taking so long for that to come out. I imagine that's probably going to be more of the same. So I am excited for that one too, but I don't think it's going to be anything that wouldn't run on the last gen consoles, right? Whereas, Alan Wake 2 and Starfield are exclusive, next gen exclusive, So yeah, I am excited for those titles, but we don't know when they're coming out. And then for the foreseeable future, there's just nothing coming out. I'm limited as to what I can say because I don't have a PS5, I get it. But as far as the Xbox Series X is concerned, I don't understand. Like, Microsoft bought all these studios up, and they have nothing to show for it. There's nothing at the Video Game Awards. No special announcements. Apparently, Microsoft is having some sort of a developer showcase coming up where they might show Redfall, I guess. I don't know. Redfall doesn't look like anything that really interests me, but I guess a lot of us were, I guess, under wrong or false impressions as to what Redfall is. Some of us thought maybe it was like a Left 4 Dead clone. But apparently it's not. Apparently there is a single player campaign aspect to it. So we'll see how that is. But man, the pickings are slim. If you're watching this video, because I know I don't get that many views on the channel, but if you're on the fence about getting an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5, it's a double-edged sword. It's like, yeah, if you can find one, grab one, because they've become hard to find again. I haven't seen them out in the wild. But at the same time, you're not really missing anything. If you really want to play those two games that I mentioned, you're going to need one unless you've got a high-end PC. But other than that, like, there's not really, yeah, sure, there's indie titles, and like there are some cool titles that have come out, like the new Monkey Island game, but that's not really a hardware pusher. Those are games I could have purchased on my Xbox One X. I'm just talking about, someone who's an enthusiast of Microsoft and the Xbox brand. And my light looks like it is dead. I don't know. I was expecting more. It'd be nice to have something that's a showpiece for the console that's just like, wow, this is why I bought the Xbox Series X. Wow. And I just haven't seen that yet. I just have not seen that. I'm kind of feeling the cross-gen fatigue. All these games that get a really cool upgrade patch for the new consoles, but at the end of the day, we're still playing games that are last gen. You know what I mean? So that's it. I don't have much else to really say about it. I'm just kind of disappointed. I feel like Alan Wake 2 and Starfield are the only two games I'm looking forward to, and that's kind of messed up. I can walk into GameStop right now and there's just nothing that interests me. It's like I'm snowblind. Like I'm walking through the store and like I can't see what it is I'm looking for because I'm not looking for anything in particular. It all looks the same. And same goes for if you go to Walmart. There's nothing that interests me. You look into the glass cabinet at Walmart and they're selling fucking Red Dead Redemption 2, which is like a 4-year-old, 5-year-old game. Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Remake, Far Cry 6, Call of Duty, Vanguard, what else? Just stuff that doesn't really whet my appetite, if you get what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just really weird. I have this new console hooked up to my TV, and I'm just fucking staring at it. You know what I mean? It feels like I never unplugged the Xbox One X. That's what it feels like. So yeah, kind of fucking disappointing, to be honest with you. I don't know what else to say. I'm not saying it's an Xbox issue. I'm not saying it's a Sony issue. I don't know what is going on with these developers out there that it's taking so long to put out titles. I don't know if it's because nowadays, every single release that comes out seems like it's a multi-million-dollar project, and those things take time to put out. But like, Jesus Christ, like, fuck. I don't know. I'm not saying I regret buying the Series X, but since I hooked it up a little over a month ago, I've just been staring at it. It's kind of fucked up, man. I don't know. So I'm going to cut it off there right at the almost 15-minute mark. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you kind of underwhelmed with regards to the lack of games coming out? Over 2 years into the life cycle of these consoles and nothing really to show for it. Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.